how to explain how temperature, concentration and surface area affect the rate of a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction happens when particles with enough energy collide, so chemistry can only take place when things bump together. I'm going to look at the effect of temperature to begin with. So the important part is, the higher the temperature, the faster the rate of the reaction. So one of the reasons you put things in fridges is fridges cool the food down, and because things going off is a chemical reaction, cooling food down means the food goes off less quickly. The reason for that is, the higher the temperature, the faster the particles move, and because the particles move more and more quickly, there are more successful collisions per second at a higher temperature. So if you think about it this way, these are our particles, we've got purple ones and blue ones. If they're moving slowly, they're less likely to bump into each other than if they're moving quickly, when they're more likely to bump into each other. And remember, a chemical reaction happens when particles with enough energy collide. So it stands to reason the more particles move, the more likely they are to collide, which means there are likely to be more successful collisions every second. So the rate of the chemical reaction goes up. How does increasing the concentration or pressure change the rate of the reaction? Well, increasing the concentration of a solution or the pressure of a gas increases the rate of a chemical reaction. It goes quicker at high concentration if there's a solution present, or at high pressure if there's a gas present. And the reason for that is, the higher the concentration of a solution or the pressure of a gas, the more particles there are in the same volume. So that means there are more collisions, more successful collisions per second, just because there's more stuff in the same space. How does surface area affect the rate of a chemical reaction? Well, decreasing the size of solids in a chemical reaction increases the rate of a chemical reaction. So what that means is, a powder will react quicker than a lump of stuff. So smaller pieces of a solid have a greater surface area than the same amount of solid if it were a big lump. So taking a powder will make a reaction quicker than if you take the same amount of stuff and it's there as a big block. And the reason for that is, a greater surface area means there are more collisions per second. So if you think about a powder's got lots of surface area, so there are likely to be more collisions per second than if you have a big lump of the same amount of solid.